Okay, let's dive into something pretty unique today. We're doing a deep dive on one light system. You might see it called OLS.
Right. We've got this collection of documents, some videos too, laying out their whole approach, their history, future plans.
And our mission here is really just to quickly unpack what OLS, based only on these sources, presents itself as.
Yeah, look at its journey, this vision they have for a light civilization, and, how the sources say you can actually engage or even invest.
So first things first, the materials say OLS is a meditation education academy. It was founded April 22, 2017 out in Belmont, California.
Mm-hmm. By Nazar Penkiv, who also goes by Osvet Lotan. And its core mission, according to them, empowering communities and aiming to lead the global meditation market with tech.
And they have this big vision, right? The light civilization.
Exactly. They describe it as a future where humanity is thriving, living in harmony with the sun, and they actually refer to the sun as our star, our god.
Wow, okay. That's a strong statement. It's a very distinct tone.
It really does. It frames everything else they talk about.
So this connection with the sun,
Yeah,
that must tie into their main practice, this sunlight meditation.
absolutely. They present it as something they've redeveloped from older sun-gazing practices. It's handled by a specific department they call OLS IE.AEO.
IE.AEO. What's that about?
They say it blends scientific research and counseling, and the core teaching, you see it repeated, is that receiving direct light is as important as drinking water.
Okay, vital. But I saw a big warning attached to that too.
A huge one. They stress very clearly that trying this evolutionary human process, as they call it, is very dangerous without their specific safe instruction.
So it's not DIY sun gazing. You learn it through OLS or it's risky.
That's the message. Their curriculum is supposedly designed to teach how to safely receive the light, process it into what they term a light body, and, well, exist in this future light civilization.
Okay, so where are they now? They started in 2017. What have they achieved?
Well, the sources say they finished their alpha phase, and they're aiming for a beta launch in Q3 2025, so coming up relatively soon.
Any specific advancements they point to? You mentioned tech earlier.
Yeah, they highlight improvements like better SEO scores, getting over 90 on Lighthouse, which is, about web performance,
Right, technical stuff.
and hardened back-end security, plus new features like live chat and something called the OLS Health Monitor.
Ah, the health monitor.
Yeah.
That ties into a specific package, doesn't it? The health improvements package.
It does, introduced just June 8th, 2025. It offers personalized wellness plans, uses biofeedback, sunlight meditation,
Okay.
includes that health monitor, which they say is free for 2025, and it teaches a daily self-cleansing practice.
Interesting. And they also have OLSME. What's that?
That's described as a separate public service. It supposedly synchronizes users with systematic natural source presence for quick attunement, energy accumulation, kind of like a subscription energy service.
Blending the spiritual with tech and health seems to be the pattern. What about looking forward? Their roadmap.
Oh, it's ambitious. They're planning to integrate predictive analytics AI by early 2026.
AI. Okay.
A mobile app prototype is slated for Q3 2025, and they plan to expand into different wellness areas by 2027. Global reach seems the goal.
And wasn't there something about Venus?
Yeah, kind of out there, but the sources do mention pioneering Venus settlement research. It definitely hints at the scale of this light civilization idea, maybe beyond Earth.
Definitely broadens the scope. So if someone's listening and intrigued by all this based on the materials, how can they get involved?
Several paths mentioned. You can become an OLS student, that seems the main way, or subscribe to that OLS semi-service we talked about.
Right.
You can also apparently acquire something called OLSLM assets, or just use the health improvements package.
Okay, let's touch on the financial side. Investment opportunities are mentioned.
Yes, explicitly. There's a 25-tier referral program. Commissions start at 5% for level 1, going down from there.
25 tiers, wow.
And they note a temporary bonus, an extra 5% if promoters lock in by June 30th, 2025, so potentially 10% at level 1 for early birds. The join link mentioned is allsmelly.com/launchpad.
And these OLSLM assets, what are they described as?
The sources call them light body energy real assets. Acquiring them is framed as getting a strategic stake, seniority, influence. They also mention the tech platform is scalable and cite 20% monthly growth.
Interesting terminology. Light body energy real assets.
Okay.
Okay. And finally, becoming a student. That seems central. How's that process laid out?
Yeah, that's presented as the way to really dive in, learn the sunlight meditation, build your light field. It's a 7-step process.
7 steps, like what?
Starts with registering for an evaluation, getting results, then a 50% prepayment for an intra-service session where you learn the basics of receiving light.
Okay.
Then another 50% prepayment for an initiation service, you attend that session, and then you're welcomed as a student.
Are there ways to make it more accessible? Discounts or anything?
They mention a Pioneer program with 40–50% tuition discounts. And pioneers can apparently earn credits, even real asset equity they call light minutes, through things like writing reviews, social media, referrals.
So contributing helps.
Seems so. Referrals get 10% commission there too. Plus, there's a scholarship program mentioned and a fast onboarding option. Fees depend on things like your age, location, experience.
Got it. So summing up, based purely on these sources we've looked at, OLS presents itself as this holistic system that combines spiritual practice, health tech, and pathways for financial involvement, all aimed at this vision of a sunlight civilization.
That's a good summary. And the central place to explore all these different avenues, the health package, OLSME, the assets, becoming a student seems to be their website, olsae.com. It's referenced throughout the materials.
Right. So here's a final thought to leave you with. How might a system like this, one that's so explicitly focused on receiving direct light and building a light civilization, potentially shift or even, challenge our usual ways of thinking about health, about energy, community, maybe even our place in the universe? Something to consider.